Hey, it's Erin from Book Things and Baubles, and today I want to talk to you about why I chose to purchase a Glowforge. So, I've gained some new subscribers lately, and I decided that today might be a good day to sit down and talk about why I chose to purchase a Glowforge. This is a question I get asked by a lot of people. First, because I think the Glowforge is a pretty expensive machine, and so people are always asking me, how much should it cost? And then once I tell them, they're like, why did you buy this thousands of dollars machine? And so I tell them, and so today I'm going to share that with you as well. So my story of why I decided to get a Glowforge is kind of weird. A lot of people I know and videos I've watched online are like, they already had a shop or they already had things going on, and the Glowforge would just help add to that. Or maybe, they just have a lot of disposable income and they were like, this is a fun toy. But for me, this was kind of a weird roundabout way that I came to it. So back in 2018, I decided to go back to school to get my master's degree in English. I had worked for a while as a copywriter and an editor, and then I just decided that if I wanted to take that next step in my career, I should pursue a master's degree. So I was really lucky to do my master's degree with a university that puts a lot of emphasis on digital learning. So when I was there, I was part of a pilot program that introduced English 1010, so like intro to college writing, and combined that with the Adobe suite. So a lot of the assignments that my students did when I was at this school were with Adobe. So I was really lucky to get familiar with designing and with editing and more of the design side of communication. Then in April of 2021, I graduated with my master's. Since I had graduated and I was kind of trying to decide what I wanted to do, if I wanted to go teach in high school, if I wanted to continue teaching in college, if I wanted to go on for a PhD, if I wanted to get into the private sector in communications, I just had no clue what to do next. And I felt a little overwhelmed with all the options that I had. But one thing that I had always wanted to do while I was pursuing my master's was I wanted to travel. And I kept telling myself, every semester, like when things would get hard, like once you graduate, you can take a trip. Like that was my big plan. That was going to be my present to myself, was taking this big trip. And I really wanted to go to South Korea. I've been really interested in South Korea for a long, long time now. And I just thought this would be perfect to get to go there. That was another option too I had on the table, was teaching in South Korea. And I was like, I want to go to Korea and, Japan and kind of enjoy Asia during the summer. And then I'll figure out what my plan is for the rest of the year, what I want to do next. But I graduated in April 2021, which is still just like peak coronavirus time, right? After I graduated, I was looking at what it would take to travel and go to South Korea. And at the time, I don't know if that's still the case now, but they had a mandatory 2-week quarantine period once you enter the country. So basically you stay at a government sponsored hotel for 2 weeks. You can't go out and it's all just paid on your own dime. And I was like, 2 weeks in quarantine, I only have money to travel there for 2 weeks, and I don't want to spend it all in quarantine. And so I had saved up all of this money for it, but I was just stuck at home and I had no idea what I wanted to do next. I applied for PhD programs and I applied for a lot of adjunct teaching positions, but I just really wasn't hearing anything back from anyone, which was kind of disappointing. And so I kind of found myself with a weird gap year where I graduated with my master's. I wouldn't be pursuing a PhD until, a year later. And so I had this weird kind of gap year where I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so I was on Instagram, as one is, and I got an ad for the Glowforge, for this laser printer. And I thought that looks kind of cool, And so I started looking into it, researching it. And it might just sound weird, but I just like couldn't get it out of my head. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of locked in on this laser, and I started thinking up all of these ideas of like what I could make with it, what I could start maybe selling with it, gifts I could give, And I felt like it was a really good opportunity for me to continue with designing and with some of these skills and things that I had learned in my master's program, but applying them to something totally different than what I've been doing before. And I also felt like it was a good challenge for me. I am someone who suffers with depression and anxiety, and getting outside of my comfort zone is really, really hard for me. While I was doing my master's program, I had wanted to start up a nonprofit, and, I was getting that all put together and set and everything. But that was in 2020 during the pandemic, and I just couldn't handle it. And I felt really almost defeated. And I thought, what scares me the most? Like, what do I need to do to push myself? But still in a way that I can grow, but still in a way that is not like going to shut me down from panic attacks and things like that. And I decided that getting this laser printer, doing my design work, creating things, and starting a business would really kind of push me outside my comfort zone, but still in like a very protected way. But I really wanted to start this business to prove to myself that I could do hard things. And that's kind of what I decided. I had never spent this much money on a piece of equipment or machinery before, but I had all of this money saved up that I was planning to use to travel. But since that fell through, I decided to use this money to purchase the Glowforge. So I decided to purchase a Glowforge Plus, which is kind of like the middle tier of Glowforge machines. So I'll talk about this in another video soon, but there are 3 different kinds of Glowforge. There's the Glowforge Basic, and then there's the Plus, which is kind of the middle tier, and then there's the Pro. The Pro is one that's very different from the other 2, but like I said, I'll talk about that in another video. But I decided to go with the Plus just because it was a little faster, and I thought if I'm starting a business, maybe having something that's a little faster, maybe that has a little bit more power, will be good for my needs. I used another YouTuber's referral link to purchase my Glowforge. So I got, $250, I think, off of my Glowforge. Then you get like free shipping and all that good stuff. And so I placed my order, and after that, I just went to work. I started designing things. I really buckled down and started learning Inkscape. I came up with my shop. I got that all set up, registered with the government, with my state, all that good stuff, and just set it up and got it going. I looked at a lot of different platforms to start selling on, and I ultimately decided to really base my main core shop out of goimagine. So I've really enjoyed being on that platform, and I've really enjoyed having a Glowforge. It's really helped me push myself and grow in ways that I wanted to, and it's just really been a blessing for me. I think a lot of people tend to maybe look at it from the outside and go, oh, you spent like all this money on this machine. Are you crazy? Or something like that. But I am making money for my Glowforge. And I am just really enjoying having this business and learning and growing and interacting with you. And it's been really, really fun, and I've really enjoyed it. So that's all that I kind of had to say. If you have questions for me, like I said, feel free to leave them down below. I am happy to answer questions. And I'm also excited to see what 2022 brings. I feel like I've learned so much in the last 6 months, having my Glowforge, having my business, and I am excited to share that knowledge with you to hopefully help you on your Glowforge journey, your laser cutting journey. But I am also excited to set my goals for my shop for 2022 and continue to grow and learn and be in this experience. So if you have a Glowforge, if you're thinking about getting a Glowforge, please consider subscribing. I upload these videos every single Wednesday, and I'm going to continue that into 2022. And then if you're thinking about getting your own Glowforge, I would love it if you considered using my referral code down in the description box to purchase your Glowforge. That referral code will give you a discount on the Glowforge, and then it also gives me credits, which really help me out. So if you do decide to purchase a Glowforge, I would love it and really appreciate it if you would use my referral code. But that's all I have for you. I hope that you all had a great holiday and are going to have an exciting New Year's, and I will see you in 2022. Bye.